Good morning, everyone. Happy Thursday, guys. Today I have very hot topic. We are filming today shingle guide, 2021 shingle guide. We have 10 categories, and one of them is very, very controversial. It's about review friendliness of the manufacturers. And in this live, during this live today, I want to present my case. Why is it important for roofers to be able to review shingle manufacturers? When we did it last year, only 2 manufacturers out of, I believe, 9 last year were letting contractors review them on Facebook. And I know it's a very hard topic for the manufacturers. They don't want reviews, they don't want feedbacks. They say they do, but they disable it everywhere you go. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna play phone call to the manufacturer during this live, and you're gonna hear yourself. Like, we called all manufacturers yesterday and we asked them this question: if I have a problem with your shingle, or if I want to praise your shingle, where can I review your product? You will not believe how confused other line was. Like, if you call a roofing contractor and say, hey, where can I review your company? I mean, it's all over the internet. You have Google, you have Facebook, you have Yelp, you have BBB. You don't have to create it yourself. You know, those platforms can create platforms for you and review your service or your quality of your work. Even if you didn't do the work, consumer can review you. As a matter of fact, roofing manufacturers reviewing us and allows homeowners to review us on their websites, but they're not allowing us to review their product. And this is the topic today. First thing first, if you like this video, give it a like. If you like this topic, I want as much support as I possibly can get to send message to the manufacturers. If you agree with me, if you don't agree, also comment and say, this is bullshit, I disagree with you, Dmitry. It does not matter, all products are the same. But I'm going to present to you my case. I have 5 points here to make why it's important and why it's part of a roofing shingle guide. If you're waiting for our shingle guide tomorrow, I want you to know that one of the categories that's the most important for me, we called it review friendliness. Here's why. Take a listen to the clip from last year when we did the 2021 shingle guide. Malarkey Highlander have won that competition, that challenge, if you will, that comparison. They were #1 shingle, but I made a promise to them, and I'm going to keep that promise, and I'm going to make them accountable. Take a listen to this, to the clip from the last year. Just play, right? So we pay attention to those, and Malarkey also gets 5-star. But Malarkey, we do want you to enable your Facebook reviews. If you don't, next year you're going to lose 1 star. So that was the promise last year. I pretty much told Malarkey, hey Malarkey, your product is good, but as of right now, we cannot review it anywhere we go. And if you not, and at that time, only 2 manufacturers last year turned on Facebook reviews on, for the contractors and homeowners to review their product. It was Atlas and Pepco, and we had to recognize it because we know it can be done. This year, we added 1 more manufacturers to the list. It's BP out of Canada, and I would say that we see a huge improvement in the product. We see huge improvement in the quality. I talked to Adam Sand yesterday about the BP shingles because we actually were surprised how good the product was. And BP back in the day have a lot of backlash, a lot of problems with the consumers. And this year they boldly went, just like Atlas did, and say, you know what, we're not going to hide about reviews anymore. So here's why it's important. I want you guys to understand, whether you're a homeowner or a contractor, and I want to hear your feedback. Please comment something about it. I understand that a lot of lawyers probably watching this video now, not many roofers. This is tough. But here, check this out. What's the last time you've seen shingle manufacturer to recall their product? They all have failure rate, all of them. I'm not going to single someone out and say this manufacturer is doing better than another. Atlas have failed, Malarkey has failed, OC has failed. We all have seen it. They have problems like discoloration, bad matches. They have delaminations, massive granule loss. You name the problem, they all have seen it. Not sealant. shingles don't seal, right? They do have quality control, but every once in a while they ship products and you will never see them recalling their products. Unlike cars, if car has safety issue, Mercedes-Benz, Ford, BMW, they're like, okay, we're recalling 1 million videos. You're not gonna see that. So pretty much what's happening in the roofing industry, once manufacturer shipped and sold their shingles and sold it to the supplier then gonna ship it to a roofer then gonna install them, and then nightmare begins. Here's what usually happens. Let's say you have discoloration. And give me a like if you've seen this scenario online, maybe you experienced yourself or you've seen someone else experience it. I want to hear from you guys, because here's the problem. You install the shingles and it's not your problem. You order, let's say you sell a $25,000 job. You order shingles, they arrived, your installers did it. When they install it, they can't see it from the ground how it looks. Then at the end of the day, you go back and you look at it, and all of a sudden you see that 5 bundles or 10 bundles look different. Now you have a staggering problem. I've had it on one of my green roofs where half of the roof looked very different, like the green was much thicker, and manufacturer came out and told me something about oils. They like that argument, or let the oils dry out or fade or settle in. Usually it takes 1 or 2 years. A lot of times you as a contractor cannot get paid. I remember I used to have a problem with the wrapper with one certain brand where they over shrink the shingles, so the corners were lifting up, and what was happening is you install the shingle for 2-3 weeks after installations, those points, because they were over shrink, they dried out like that. They would be sticking and you can see it from the ground, and homeowner during the final walk would point out, like, what about that? And homeowner did not want to pay you and say, can we wait until it settles? So usually roofers get paid right away when job is done, but if you have any problems with the color, if you have any problems with the sealants or blow-offs few weeks after the job is done, or any visual damage, any visual inconsistency, guess what? It's going to be on you, and you're not going to get paid, and you have to go through manufacturer claim process. And let me tell you this, it's pain in the ass, because you have to do it privately. Nobody knows how many claims manufacturers have, because they're privately owned companies. It's not public information. You cannot review them. And on top of that, to make things worse, most manufacturers, big players at least, they have non-disparaging clause in their contract, so they're not gonna let you review or make it public online that you have problem with them. So for example, let's say one plant, let's say Michigan, makes bad batch of shingles today. Ship it to one roofer, he complains about it, goes write a review, and other roofer looks at the review and say, oh, I have the same issue. All of a sudden you have 100 bad reviews in one market, and if that's the case in that market, manufacturer can look and say, well, something is wrong here. We have this massive claim. But now if those roofers cannot talk or not allowed to talk, manufacturer knows he has 100 claims. Nobody else does. And manufacturers say, well, let's give it 2 years, see if it's going to settle, right? This is what's happening. We're not making manufacturers accountable for their mistakes. Mistakes happen to roofing contractors, mistakes happen to manufacturers, and I've seen so many headaches with so many companies. Where's my coffee? Ben, where's my coffee?
Oh, coming right up.
Sorry, I asked my coffee like 10 minutes ago. So guys, check this out. We're homeowners making us accountable for mistakes, but it's not always our fault. Manufacturers always say this phrase like, hey, Dimitri, or like, guys, it's not about product, it's how you install it. And I agree with it. But what happens when product fails? You have no leverage. And especially right now in thank you, Ben. Especially right now in 2021, here's what's happening, guys. Manufacturers are sending those price increase letters 2, 3, 4 times a year. Brent Simmons this morning told me, Dimitri, I just got another price increase this morning. It's crazy. We have to adapt and adjust, and they usually send those letters within 24 hours. of each other. It's crazy, and usually it's 7, 8, 10%. They're not small increases. I just talked to one installer, one company, who already paying $10 more per square than they were paying last year. I understand it's not a lot of money, and we installers, roofing business owners, can definitely increase our prices to make things better, but it's not an easy thing to do. So they increase their prices. We cannot talk about products. What happened this year, and this is just my theory, that manufacturers thought we're going to have a bad year. They stopped producing shingles, or they slowed down a lot, and then demand picked up, and they were not ready for it because they did not produce more products to have a stock. And when demand raised up, they didn't have enough inventory. So demand rose, there's not a lot of supply. The best thing they could do is to make more money. Let's just raise our prices. No, how about you make more products when you're slow, right? But manufacturers definitely teaming up. We have this little bottleneck. We have 3 suppliers that does 90% of all this sales of roofing shingles. Then we have 9 manufacturers, a little bit lower, and you have a big pool of roofing contractors, like 40,000 of us all over the country. So when those 3 plus those 9 get together and raise their price or do something, we just have to swallow it and eat it and say, okay, it's your rules, it's how you gotta do business. We cannot talk about their failures, we cannot talk about them because they're billion-dollar corporations, and it's almost like, I would describe it with the missing kids. If you never have your kid missing, you never lost a child, nothing ever happened if none of your relatives never got cancer, almost one of those cases, you think it'll never touch you. But once you have that happen to you, all of a sudden you see how big the problem is. The same thing happening here. If you never have a job where you have to start over because of the product failure, you're not going to know the problem exists. And big companies, they usually do 2-3 redone jobs per year. I talked to one company that does $50 million. They would have 2 jobs completely failed. Manufacturer would come out and say, okay, we're going to give you more shingles, we're going to pay for the labor. So here's the trend, and here's what's been historically happening in this industry. Big companies do have leverage because they buy a lot. If you buy $5 million a year worth of shingles, if you have 1 or 2 or 3 jobs failed per year, that manufacturer probably values the relationship because you're buying $5 million from them, and they're going to go and replace it because they don't want to piss you off because you're going to park your business somewhere else. But if you're a smaller contractor who cannot talk and cannot even write online review, what do you think that contractor can do? Sue billion-dollar company because shingle mismatch on the job? So here's what's important to us on Roofing Insights channel. People argue with me, and I guarantee you when we launch this video tomorrow, it will be controversial because literally, and this is a spoiler alert, we have 35 people watching, you're gonna be the first one to hear this. Malarkey Highlander is not #1 shingle anymore, exactly for this reason. I promised Malarkey that it'll cost them 1 star. That star literally cost Malarkey first place this year. And I'm telling Malarkey right now, Malarkey, if you're not gonna turn your reviews, I'm calling you bullshit, because we called you and we're like, where can we review? There's nowhere you can review. They don't have a Google page. They don't have BBB profile like we have. Listen, here's the biggest hypocrisy in the industry, and I'm gonna play one phone call, not with a Malarkey, with another company. Shingle manufacturers are telling us, guys, reviews are important. How many times, guys, you have been at a webinar, conference, organized by shingle manufacturers in their school, in their program, and they bring all of these experts and they pitch this idea, how important the labor is and work is and do it right, how important reviews are for us. They even review us and let homeowners review us on their websites. You go to jf.com, ownersconing.com, all their websites, they have our reviews, but when it comes to review their product, you can't do it. Why is that? How crazy is that? So you're telling me only labor matters? Shingle quality is out of the question all of a sudden. So they want to, the hypocrisy is even deeper here. They tell you that shingle, quality of the shingle is important and you have to use their brand because it's higher quality of the shingle. But talking about quality is not important. Labor is important, and reviews about labor and procedures and how you install product is important, but we can review you, you cannot review us. Listen, company like Owens Corning, for example, and I'm gonna play this clip really quick. Owens Corning partnered up with a company called Guild Quality, and I love Guild Quality, good company. My company, Storm Group Roofing, have over 200 reviews at owningscorning.com that technically Guild Quality reviews. I mean, think about it. So Owens Corning is like, okay, reviews are important. What can we do about it? Let's find the best review website out there who can help us to generate more contractors' reviews. Okay, good. So they partner up, they plug it into their website, and now homeowners can go and review us. And like I said, my company has 200 reviews on owningscorning.com. Check this out. This is a phone call. Ben, my videographer, who's working right now on Shingle Guide video, calling Owens Corning, asking Owens Corning, where can we review Owens Corning shingles? Take a listen.
Thank you for calling Owens Corning. This is Jeff. How can I help you?
Hi, Jeff.
Thank you for calling Owens Corning. This is Jeff. How can I help you?
Hi, Jeff. I left a message just a minute ago. I just had a general question about leaving you guys a review online, and was wondering if you had like a recommendation or a best place to do it.
Oh, goodness. That's a great question. Is it related to roofing or insulation or?
Yeah, it's mostly about the shingles, I guess. So like, not about the contractor or anything.
Yeah, there's likely a Google review. I'm thinking, but I don't know that our website has any type of review process.
Okay.
Better Business Bureau. Yeah, I wish I had a good recommendation for you there. But,
no problem. Just curious if you guys had a recommendation or something. I see you don't have any option on Facebook.
Yeah, really don't. I mean, if you have, you can always send an email to the corporate office, but that doesn't get to the general public at all.
Sure.
But yeah, I mean, if you Google it, I would suspect there's probably Yelp or Google or something like that where you can leave a review for nearly anything. Cool. But yeah, wish I had a better answer for you on that one.
No, it's probably a pretty unconventional question, but I was just like, I was having trouble finding a place to do it, and I'm like, I'll just call them and ask, what the heck.
Right. Yeah, and I'm sorry I didn't ask your first name.
Ben, B-E-N.
Okay. Yeah. Was there anything we could answer for you today then, Ben? Or?
Nope, that was it. Just
Okay.
Satisfying my curiosity. So thank you very much.
All right. Thanks a lot. Have a great day.
Yeah, you too. Bye.
Here you have it. So guys, I want to summarize kind of my demand on why it's so important at Roofing Insights to review it. By the way, I ask again, give it a like if you like our calls to manufacturers when we make people accountable for their actions at the highest level. I want your support, and likes on YouTube and Facebook helps videos to trend and make it to the top. The more views we have, the more comments we have, the more impact we do on this industry, and the more we are being heard, because let's face it, we're not united. Manufacturers at this point do whatever they want to us. They increase their prices, we have to swallow it. There's not much we can do. When we raise our voice, and it could be in the form of liking the video, sharing it, commenting and saying, hey, I agree with it, this makes sense. So we need you to unite with us. But here's my 5 points why reviews, why allowing manufacturers to review their products matters. Number one, I firmly believe it will force recalls. Manufacturers they all know it. Some, like I've heard it, 0.5%, 1%. We don't know. It could be 3%. Look at the history of shingles. We have major failures. We have failures of organic shingles. Atlas Chalet failed, right, 15, 20 years ago. But it doesn't have to be this way. I promise you this, if manufacturers allow you to review product today, let's say they install or shipped bad product and all of a sudden they have 100 negative reviews about it from roofers, they have to pay attention, maybe recall it. As a matter of fact, in the last 6 months, I've been calling one product out and I demanded that manufacturer to discontinue it. Finally, 2 weeks ago, I got an email saying, we're discontinuing it. They hate this feedback. It's not nice because, and the thing about it is, you need to understand those corporations write by lawyers, but they also have marketing departments, and sometimes marketing departments say, hey, we do need reviews. Don't be afraid. And marketing can push legal to back off and actually do what's right for the consumer and for the feedback. So that's number one. Number two, honestly, guys, reviews are the only thing that we have left as roofers. That's why Roofing Inside Shingle Guide includes review friendliness category. People say, well, it's not about shingles, it's not about shingle quality. Yes, it is. It's our leverage. If I don't know the failure rate, like, we're reviewing initial shingle quality, and if we don't see, or we cannot influence the recall, we don't have a voice on it, how are we gonna know if the product fails miserably or if they actually taken care of those claims? We don't know, because it's all in the back end corners. It's all, they singling us out. If one contractor complains or struggles with it, there's nothing he can do. He doesn't have any leverage. So they increasing prices, they have a failures, and we cannot talk about it. That's just not acceptable. We have to unite, and we have to get a little bit of leverage in this game. Not a lot, but still a little bit. The reviews give you that leverage. Number three, guys, it will force them to make better shingle and spend more on the shingle quality instead of marketing dollars. I've seen it for years, guys. If you come to your rep, and it happened to me first in 2015, I came to my rep and we actually stopped using one brand because we have major problems. And I came to him and said, man, look, this, like, my installer's giving me this product. 6 months into it, they did not do anything. Actually, 6 months later, I went to shingle plant and I've seen the same mistakes from 6 months ago, the same product failures still in the making. Inconsistent nailing zone, granule loss, shrink wrappage package. Like, I've seen them being shipped that day from that plant. After 6 months, I've been talking about it. I promise you this, when you make a YouTube video, when you submit that review like on a Facebook page, it's for the world to see. If that manufacturer would rather spend $5 million on the marketing spend instead of going and spend $5 million to create a better shingle. So question to you is, do you want them to create a better shingle, or you want a better brochures to sell the shingles? I actually want a better shingle, and I'm here to report to you this year we see a huge increase in quality. Like, for example, I'm going to give a huge shout out to Ico Dynasty and BP shingles. Those are truly improving, huge improvement from what we've seen before. Ico Dynasty, Ico as a company did not see Roofing Insights 3 years ago when we were calling out their granule loss. It cost them millions of dollars to fix the problem. So instead of picking a war with us and saying, no, bullshit, we're not going to listen to you, we're going to sue you because we can, Ico went back and spent millions of dollars improving their product. And I know they did it because a year later, we're seeing the same product again and it performs differently. So this is what's happening to auto industry, to phone industry, and we need to learn from those industry. The reason we have such a good cars, because it's expensive to make a bad car, but you also have, every 5 years we have new models, and you have army of video bloggers and companies like Auto Trends who review those products, and they show the world what they like and what they don't like. Like right now, go review Tesla, and you will see that Tesla have a water coming in the trunk, design flaws, like engineer flaws. Guess what? Those manufacturers, they keep improving their product based on those reviews. They're not declaring wars like, hey, you're not gonna review our trucks and cars. We're too big to fail. We're gonna ruin you. We're gonna sue you. No, they actually endorse it. They pay people to review their product. Good company will endorse the review and feedback. As long as it's constructive, as long as it's reasonable and unbiased, good manufacturers should welcome reviews. But here's what's happening in the roofing industry. they created this world where it's us versus everybody else. We're too big to fail. This world needs us. We're going to put disparaging clause in our contract where our installers cannot talk about us. And I want you to understand what disparaging clause means. It means you cannot write a bad review. You cannot say like your product failed. You cannot say like, you know, I have a discoloration. Like it doesn't have to be a lie. It just have to be disparaging means lowering. Not lowering. How could I explain? So anything that puts them in a bad light. Bad review is a great example. It prohibits you for doing that. So if you show two products, and by the way, I have a couple very big people who used to work for manufacturer reached out to me and say, Dmitry, those manufacturers, they do know that their contracts don't work because roofers, you know, disparage their products all the time. Every time you go and you show two major brands in homeowner's house and say, I think this is better than this, you just disparage one of them. And most likely you have a contract with both. So we all do it. So manufacturers need to withdraw and make public statement that, hey, we're not going to come after roofers for talking about quality of our products because they've been doing it. And that's why roofers are scared all over the country to review the product. They have a bad roofs. They cannot get paid on that roof because of discoloration issue, because shingles don't seal. Who knows what? Not their fault. Nothing that they did. But they just absolutely can't get paid because homeowner is not accepting quality of the shingles and they can't talk about it. How crazy is that? And you know why it's happening? Because we let them do that to us. Guys, this needs to stop. I'm sorry, like 2021 shingle guide, that's where I drew the line. Some people reach out to me and say, Dmitry, let's just stick to basic data. Let's just stick to basic performance. I'm like, okay, if I stick to basic performance and then, as a matter of fact, Malarkey was the only shingle with only bundle. I agree that Malarkey has a horrible name. I agree, but it's a good shingle. But how crazy it is that #1 shingle from last year, and again, I have 11 witnesses. I have 3 cameras. I have other reps, ABC supply rep in a house. Malarkey was the only product out of 11 products we review. When we opened the bundle, it was problem actually with the problem. The tiger teeth, it was misaligned, so we have to throw that piece of shingle away. It just shows you that even the best of the best shingles can still have a flaws. Now, I'm pretty sure Malarkey would take care of it. If we would call Malarkey, say, hey, we have a bad batch here, they do have a reputation of backing up their claims. Atlas does, all of them do. The point is not if you're gonna back it up. The point is, can I talk about it? Can I share it with other people? And here's my experience. Here's what I see happening in the industry now. If a roofer is a small guy who don't have any influence and he struggles with the manufacturer claim, okay, problem with the product, he is cornered. He has no options. And if he calls his manufacturer and say, you know, look at this job, it's messed up, manufacturer will say, well, give it a year or two. I mean, it'll be a very long, lengthy, and painful process for that installer. Here's another scenario. If a roofer or a roofing business owner have influence, have hundreds of friends, and let's say goes on a Facebook and private group and post a couple pictures, say, hey, look at this job. What should I do with it? Immediately, manufacturer reps calling him, let's take this down from here. We don't want people to see it. We're going to take care of it right away. You know what I call it? Leverage. If you have influence, those roofers and business owners who make enough noise to make that story public, they usually are taken care of it. Here's my point. It should be in every single case. Listen, if I buy Honda tomorrow and you know it's a brand new vehicle, it has a warranty, and my brakes don't work, my sliding door doesn't work, I come back to a dealer, I throw keys on him, it's like, hey, you take care of that. And they do it every single time. I don't have to wait 3 weeks, 2 years, whatever. I bought a brand new vehicle and I deserve that vehicle to work as performed. You bought a $25,000 roof, homeowner, you deserve it to look good, to look like in a brochure, and if it doesn't, that manufacturer needs to come within 30 days, file a claim, pay your roofer to redo the job immediately. A roofer should not pay twice because he have problems with the product. I don't care what the problem is. You sold me lifetime warranty shingle, which is another bullshit the manufacturers are doing. It's not going to last lifetime. By the way, it's not going to last 50 years. It's false, misleading advertising right there, but it's a different topic. So if your manufacturer sold you bad job, and I understand it's only 1, 2, 3%. So, but it still happens, and when it happens, I want to give that roofer, that business owner, some tools what he can do about it. Because I mean, imagine if roofers were doing it. Like, I'm signing contract with the homeowners, like, hey, homeowner, I'm gonna give you this job and we're gonna do a good job, but if we do bad job, you cannot disparage me, you cannot give me better review. Wouldn't that be awesome? Can we do it? Heck no. Why we're letting manufacturers do it to us? Why they're silencing us and we cannot talk about their quality, buying their freaking marketing bullshit because they're marketing companies, and there's nothing we can do about it? Where's our pride? Where's accountability here? Manufacturers like to talk about accountability. Manufacturers like to talk about how important quality is. Well, how about quality of your shingles? How about quality of your manufacturing process? Are you gonna take care of the problems when you messed up? Are you gonna do it in a timely manner, or you're gonna do what's good for you, drag it as long as it possibly can be? Here's what I don't want. I don't want this industry to become what we see with insurance industry, where it's all propaganda, where insurance companies spend billions on advertising instead of billions on claims. I don't want our roofing manufacturers keep spending billions on advertising, or millions in this case, instead of improving their plants. I've been in some outdated plants and I understand why quality of the shingles are so poor, because when plant is 70 years old, you can't make good shingles out of it. It's just impossible. They will drop $5 million on marketing campaign. How about $5 million to improve the plant? Why would they? Nobody can talk about quality. Why would they? What incentive does manufacturer have to improve quality of the shingle? By the way, if you're just curious, shingles are like 80-90% of everything that we sell out there. So, all right, guys, I'm gonna go real quick. Adam Hines says, of course it's about shingles. The shingles is the product we're installing. How is not about the shingle? I say we start taking videos and pictures of the products and reviews. Maybe create a page where we can all share the good, the bad, and ugly. By the way, comment below if you would like Roofing Insights to create this website. So and by the way, this year, it cost manufacturers 1 star. So 3 companies, BP, Atlas, and Pepco, getting 5 stars from us for allowing us to review them on Facebook. If you install those shingles, I don't care what you think about them, does not matter. I don't care if it's 1-star rating, but them opening that gate and being brave enough to let homeowners and contractors to review them. And by the way, here's the idea, marketing idea for manufacturers. If you're afraid of negative feedback because homeowners don't know how to install your product, or maybe manufacturers don't know how to install your problem, maybe you do mean tweets type of content, like go in and read the worst 1-star reviews you get as a manufacturer, because I know reviews are not going to be in your favor. I know it. It's hard business. I understand why manufacturers don't want to do it, because there's a lot of homeowners, do-it-yourselfers who don't understand how to install it. Like, I've seen reviews on Owner's Corning website, and I was actually advocating for them, where homeowners come to the website and say, here's the pictures of failed roof, and they're just install shingles over existing shingles. Well, if you read manufacturer instructions, OC tells you not to do it. So shame on you. It's not their fault. But you're going to get those reviews. Guess what? Take that review and make fun of it. Like, say, okay, yeah, we messed up for not maybe making bigger print about what not to do. So the point is, guys, we probably going to end up with a roofing manufacturers review website, either separate or maybe added to roofinginsights.com, because we're looking into it. I want to be in that space. I want to keep manufacturers accountable. I'm going to have way more leverage after my sale of my roofing business will be complete. That's one more reason to be out of that business, so I can do more of this without being afraid to get sued by manufacturers for making videos like this, because I understand by the end of the day I might get another cease and desist letter just by calling out another bullshit in the industry. So I'm gonna go really quick through comments, and we're gonna be done today, and we're gonna film 5. Like we already know. Like, and spoiler alert: Malarkey Highlander did not win. Pretty much, review cost them because they're not willing to accept reviews. It cost them first place this year. And this year, we're not gonna do first place. Pretty much, we have 11 products. We recommend 9 of them. 2 of them we don't recommend. You will see it. So there's no placement. Don't get cute. Whoever is at the top, you're not first. You're good. You're better than others. But we have about 1.3 difference between who is at the top and who is number 9. So it's very short gap. It's very short race. A lot of companies, a lot of products stepped up. We have Vista, we have Malarkey Vista product, we have ICA Dynasty, ICA Cambridge, we have newer products, we have GF HDZ in the mix. So we do recommend 9 products, we don't recommend 2, but I can't say that it's number 1, number 2. The best analogy I can give you about 2021 Shingle Guide is just like comparing trucks. Like trucks, are so good today, like your Ford, your Chevy, your Nissan, your Toyota, your Dodge, right? I mean, you can be a Ford guy or Chevy. It's based on experience. Like 2 days ago, I was in Texas with Roger Wakefield, and he told me since he was 20 years old, he only drove Chevy trucks, never have a problem. But sometimes you buy a truck, you have a bad engine, you have bad experience, and guess what? It's just gonna affect your experience for life. And the same happening in the roofing industry. We have OC guys, we have GF guys, we have Atlas guys. So it's, you know, just like in trucks. Some trucks have a bigger payload, bigger engine, bigger capacity, like nicer inside. Maybe bigger payload, towing capacity. Some trucks are faster, but they're all similar. They all have pros and cons. And if one manufacturer has 4.55 rating, another one is 4.45, it does not make this one is number 1, this one is number 2. They're both good, but there's still a rating to it. So I'm gonna go really quick through. ICO has this problem, yep, and it cost ICO a star, 100%. Atlas is good, but wrappers everywhere. I'm not sure what you mean by that. And it says, I've done JF, ICO certainty recalls in Illinois, JF, the hardest to deal. Probably with a claim. Good morning, guys. Good morning, Jake. Jesus says, I'm starting my own roofing company here in Minnesota. What manufacturer do you recommend going through? Wait until tomorrow's guide and you will see it. We have a couple plans here. GF has planned, OC has planned here. We do have Malarkey available in this market, so you have quite a few options. I'm from Florida. Let me see. Architectural Sheet Metal 101 says truth. We have a metal guy saying truth about asphalt shingle content. This is pretty cool. I hear nothing but good things about Malarkey products. I wish we have them in. Yes, Malarkey is great products, but it's not. But see, what we don't know is failure rate. Like for example, when we were doing this product review, we opened a bundle, and I understand it. Like we actually did not use it against them. That flaw, what we found inside the bundle, we did not use it. It did not affect 2021 Shingle Guide. But Malarkey is one of the best, highest reputable company, but they still have issues. The problem is you can't go and find reviews about them because they don't want you to review them. So Malarkey, what are you afraid of? That's my direct question. Malarkey, you won 2020 Shingle Guide last year. We warned you, if you're not going to turn on your reviews on at least Facebook, it's going to cost you a star. You're the best product according to us, at least, and our network. We hear nothing but good things about you. What are you afraid of? You afraid that someone come and say, well, they have a problem with your product? Go to your closet, take a big boy pants, put it on, and wear them for a day. You need to grow up. It's 2021. I don't believe any brand can make it without reviews. By the way, you're teaching us freaking to do reviews. Why don't you turn on your reviews? OC manufacturers to show off for single, yes, and huge shout out for OC. They came to They even brought a tester with them. I love OC shingles. Like, I'm giving them crap because I'm giving everybody crap. Like, I make everybody accountable. That comes from the place of love, not from the place of hate. When you love someone and you're passionate about something and you want someone to get better, you give them this hard love. Like, some people think that I hate on OC or I hate on, like other brands. I don't. The only reason I do it because I want to help them and I want manufacturers to be accountable. That's the reality. But huge shout out to OC to comment next year. We'll announce where it's going to be. Everybody's welcome. This year, everybody was welcome, but not many came. OC came. Huge shout out to them. Jack is saying Malarkey is a terrible name. I'm from Ireland and Malarkey means slang for joke or joking, BS. And yes, everybody knows it. I made videos about it. I still think Malarkey should rebrand, rename. They're stubborn about it. Let them be. With a name like that, they say you have to have a good product. I agree with it. But if you have a good product, you also have to turn on your reviews. How about that? When in doubt, stop and stop. Mark Bonnell says GF is the best in my mind. Only 5 brands in my market: Nova Scotia, Canada. Well, we'll see how they're gonna. My bad. I messed it up again. So let's finish it up. Maurice is saying great info. There should be lemon floss for roofs. Yes, sir. What time does the video drop? Friday. Okay, roof. Here's the thing. I'm gonna do something very special tomorrow, something I've never done before. I'm gonna consult with Ben really quick here. Can we drop a video so people who join the channel see it first, like maybe 3 hours prior? Like,
For the members?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can try and get them some early access for sure.
Okay, perfect. So here's what we're gonna do tomorrow. We have, we really need your support. We've been doing this, guys, for years, and this is very hard for us. Not only, like, for this video alone, we travel all the way to Pennsylvania. It's 1 month in the making. Hard content. We have couple fans who follow us everywhere. So on our channel, on YouTube channel, you can subscribe and you can join. It's only $14.99. But we want to honor those people who actually followed us and joined the channel and help us with the $15 a month to make more good content like that. So for those who joined our channel, we're gonna drop it tomorrow, hopefully by noon, but either way, it's gonna be 3 hours prior to everyone else. So if you join our channel on the YouTube, you're gonna have 3 hours in advance. It's just us showing appreciation to those people who followed and for those people who really support our channel. They don't only say that we love the show and we agree with you, but actually give us $15 a month, and for those we really appreciate. So we're gonna drop the video on YouTube and it'll be available instantly to people who joined our channel. Again, look at the subscribe and look at the join. If you join the channel, you're gonna have it probably around noon. So if we drop it at noon, for those, so 3 hours later, 4 p.m., the rest of the YouTube will see it. It'll be available for public. So if you want early access, true early access, join our channel on YouTube. We're gonna drop it tomorrow as soon as it's done, and my lawyer watches it, and we watch it with our team as well. I'm actually talking to guys. I've been filming it in the last few days as well. And early access for those who join the channel, and for the rest of you guys, it'll be tomorrow afternoon. Super pumped about it. H&S Roofing says availability of product will be huge this year. Hope this was considered. Well, that's one of the reasons we did not rank them from 1 to 11. We just say, 9 is recommended, other 2 is not. So pretty much before I go to bottom 2, and I'm gonna say it in a video, sometimes, like, let's say you like number 3, and they're so close. They're like, I think number 9 is like 4 or 5, and number 1 is 455. So it's a half a star difference between 9 places. Very, very close. Sometimes availability will determine the decision. But all 9 is recommended and backed up by Roofing Insights and directory. So if we ever get a call or message say, hey, is it JF HDZ or excluding duration? It's either one, whatever you can get. And sometimes it's who are the contractors. Sometimes, if you have Master Elite GF and, the guy who've been in business for 2 months installing OC, of course I'm going with the JF HDZ Master Elite. He's a better contractor. He probably have better relationship with manufacturer, and not gonna spoil where JF is, next to OC, head to head or close, but you get the point. Sometimes it's exactly right. Great comment. It's that availability problem, because we're gonna see it more and more this coming year. With a name like Malak, you can afford to have a bad shingle. Good point, but you also, I don't think you can't afford to not to have your reviews. So, all right, guys, that's it for today. We're gonna go shoot this video, and I'll see you guys all tomorrow on the YouTube. Give me some likes, comment. I really, really appreciate your feedback and standing behind us. Let's make those manufacturers accountable for what they do. This is the only leverage we guys have. It's important. It's important to me. I hope it's important to you. Product quality matters. See you guys later.